So this is the first time that I've ever done a bullet journal. I've really been wanting to do one ever since I saw them all over Pinterest a couple of years ago, and I really like the idea that you can make it as customizable as you want. A lot of planners that you can buy in the store, they just kind of have the traditional day-by-day layout. But for bullet journals, you can determine how much space you want for each day, and if you even want to do it day by day. I also like that you can use bullet journals to track other things and get data for certain aspects of your life that regular planners don't really have a space for you to do that with. And so you'll see later on a couple of different features that I really wanted to include in my bullet journal to make it really customizable and something that I would enjoy using. I think a big problem with regular planners is that I simply don't enjoy using them because they're very rigid and they're not very creative, and so they're kind of boring, and filling them in almost feels like a task. So I'm starting off with January, but if you're just now watching this video and it's like not January, you can definitely start with whatever month you're currently in, whatever day, whatever week, whatever year. You don't need to start at a certain point of time. You can start a bullet journal anytime you want. You should just start whenever is right for you, and if that's in the middle of the year, then that's great. Looked at a bunch of different layouts online, and I came across one that I really liked, and it had a full calendar spread for each month, and the spread went onto both pages, and then we have the month written at the top, and then we have our calendar, and then on the side we have additional room for a couple of other things that you want to keep track of. For me, I wanted to have a box with all my followers, since I'm really trying to be active on social media, and having a big social media presence is becoming important to me because it's a potential career. I wanted to be able to track my followers. I think tracking your followers is important for me just because it will help me from getting discouraged. If I think that I'm not having a lot of people follow me or something, I want to have proof that even if it took me a whole month to get one follower, that's still one more follower than I had at the beginning of the month. So for me, tracking followers is less about obsessing about the numbers as it is just keeping me encouraged to keep doing what I'm doing, and to also remind me that even if these numbers aren't as high as I would want them to be, they're still numbers and there's still people that are looking at my content. My next box is YouTube. I really want to try to be active, so I'm going to try to create at least 4 or 5 different YouTube video ideas for each month. I'm not necessarily saying that I'm going to be able to put out a video every single week, but it's really nice to have all those ideas put down. A lot of the times I get overwhelmed and I get discouraged because I either have too many ideas or not enough. And so writing them down is just going to help me be able to look at what I've been thinking about and to try to plan them into my calendar in a hopefully more efficient way than what I have been doing. And I really hope that this will help me to be able to be more consistent in my upload schedule. Underneath YouTube, I have a section for notes, and I haven't decided what I'm going to put in this little section yet, but whatever I need additional room for, it will go here. Like I said about how you can make it super customizable, I wanted to be able to track a couple of my mental and emotional and physical features. Right now, I am drawing a chart which is shaped like a half circle, and I'm going to use this to track my emotions/day. I'm going to divide the half circle up into 31 different pieces, and then I'll color each one according to a key that I'm going to create. My key here, it has different types of days that I describe. These are not original descriptions, and I found these descriptions online and I thought they worked for me. And at the end of the month, I will hopefully have a very colorful circle, and I'll get to see which days were my best days, which days were pretty bad, and to see if there was any different patterns within that. The next page is called Monthly Measurements, and I got really inspired after watching Glam & Gore's physical body transformation from last year, and she really made me want to actually work on my physical health this year. And I know everybody sets their physical health as a New Year's resolution, but guys, I'm so determined. I know it's not always about the measurements and that you can get too wrapped up in your numbers. Like I said about the followers earlier, it's nice having having numbers and data to look at, because if you think you're not making improvements, you can always just look at the hardcore facts that you recorded earlier and see that even if you're just making a little bit of progress, you are making some progress. So with these different parts of the figure that I drew, I'm just going to be measuring different parts of my body, like my waist size or my hips, and just to see if those get bigger or smaller in correspondence to if I lose fat or gain muscle during my new exercise routine that I've already put into place. And at the bottom of this monthly measurements page, I also have my body mass index because I really want to focus on that. And I also have my weight, and I'm going to see how that fluctuates as well. Once again, I know this is like, it kind of looks obsessive and it looks like I'm focusing way too much on numbers, but for somebody who is so logical based, I really appreciate having hardcore data to focus on. And I know it might seem a little weird to some people, but for me, I just really like having data, and it's not necessarily good data or bad data in the subjective sense, it's just data, and it helps me see if I'm making the kind of improvements that I want to make, or if I'm doing something wrong and I'm not following the guidelines I had set for myself earlier. I'm going on to my week by week spread. Just like I had the big page for my whole calendar month, I wanted to make sure that I had ample space for each week. On the left hand, I do 4 days, and on the right, I do 3 days. And then on the bottom right hand corner, I just put a little graph that just visually depicts what week of the month we're on, just so I don't have to keep flipping back and forth, and so that I can get a kind of notion for where we are in the month and how much longer we have left. At the bottom of each of these days, I sectioned off one row with a bunch of little squares in it. I'm going to be using these squares to put a variety of different symbols in them to show that I completed certain habits or tasks that I want to accomplish either every day or every other day to see how often I do them. Such tasks might be showering, brushing my teeth, washing my face, just things that I should make sure I keep doing. I know it's really bad, but I have a hard time brushing my teeth, and it's not because I don't remember to, it's just because I'm so lazy and I don't brush my teeth as much as I would like. And I know that's really gross, but it's definitely something I want to work on. So I think tracking it will help me realize that, oh, I have a blank box, I should probably go fill that box by brushing my teeth. And finally, at the end of the week by week spread, you see on the left we have my key for my habits and tasks. On the last page we have a dream log, and I'm really interested in this. Lately, for some reason, I've been able to remember my dreams vividly, and so I'd really like to start to record them. So I'm excited to begin this. I have the date that I dreamt, the hours slept, and my notes from the dream. It's not going to be like super detailed, just whatever I remember when I remember it. I didn't include every single date in January. I just left it blank because I'm probably not going to remember my dream from every single night. Lastly, on this little spot right here, we have monthly review, and I kept this spot really small for a reason because I didn't want it to seem intimidating. I'm probably just going to write like 1 sentence or maybe 2 of how I thought my month went. And so yeah, that's basically how I'm going to be doing each month. I'm very excited for it. Yes, drawing all this and setting it up does take some time, but you can just start with whatever you feel comfortable with, and then as you go along, you can add different features or remove them. If you like this video, please give it a like and leave a comment if you're thinking about starting your own bullet journal. I'd love to see anybody's ideas for their own bullet journals. I think they're just so stylistically appealing to look at. I really feel like they're a pathway into that person's brain. Subscribe if you want to see more creative stuff and to see me hopefully put out videos more consistently like I've planned to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!